This list is going to round out my personality real nice for you. Number one, I am the eldest daughter. I have an older brother, 3 younger sisters. There's 5 of us. So that definitely shapes my personality to a large degree. And even more than that, I was 11 and 13 when the youngest 2 were born, effectively making me a second parent. Second mom, third parent. Lots of childcare, lots of caretaking in general. Emotions, peacekeeping, all that good stuff. So that definitely shapes my personality to a large degree. Number 2, I danced competitively growing up. I feel like if you know the dance comp scene of the late 80s and 90s, you know what I mean. I actually had a very positive experience in that world with my dance. Like, it was a dance family. I really felt closer to those people, as I know many of you will relate to. It doesn't have to be in dance, in any kind of, competitive sport or activity, or just any place that you spend a lot of time as a kid. They were closer to me, like my dance friends were closer to me for a long while, closer than my school friends. And what that means for me today, as it still shapes my identity, because dance still feels a part of my identity. Even though I'm not a dancer, I still feel like I need to move. Movement has to be a huge part of my life for me to feel sane. It doesn't have to be dance, even though, like, I do yoga a lot. I can go and have a dance party. I can go to like a club with friends, like we're going to clubs anymore. But like, even if I had a dance night with friends, girlfriends, it's not the same. It doesn't hit the same as being in a dance studio, taking class. Even at this age, if I were to do a drop-in or something, there is something that feeds the soul when I am in that situation. As terrible as I may look, it has nothing to do with like my actual abilities at this age. It's really, it's like I said, it feeds the soul in some way, because it is like part of my identity in some way. Number 3 is I have divorced parents. And many people have divorced parents. And there's different flavors, I feel like, of kids with divorced parents. So the particular flavor of my family is my parents are repartnered and have been for a long time, and we can gather at holidays and at parties. Like, for example, Canada Day just happened. We can gather at each other's houses with our parents there on both sides, and it is respectful and amicable, and there's a lot of camaraderie. I hate that word. Camaraderie. I think that particular flavor has shaped my personality in a particular way, and it puts family values pretty high on my list. Number 4, I myself have been divorced. I was married at the age of 22, and we were married until I was 28. And I feel like that fact lets you in on my personality at that stage of life. And actually, adjacent to that fact, I have been in a relationship since the age of 17. With like a very short break between that marriage in my 20s and my current partner. Maybe a year or 2 break. So most of my life, since the age of 17, like I had a high school boyfriend, went straight to that relationship where I got married, and then a small break of a year or two, and then in my current relationship. So most of my life I've been partnered. And that certainly, certainly shapes one's personality. And actually, I would love to do an entire video talking about the different, like the conflicting feelings I have about that fact about me, and how there's, a large part of me that wishes to have had a single life. And in many ways, I think about the ways within the context of a relationship and ways in which I can access a single version of myself. Anyway, that's for a different video. Fact number 5, I had been pregnant or nursing for 11 years, 2 months, and 18 days. That's combined pregnant and nursing. That's about a quarter of my life. I have 3 daughters, so you can figure that out in your head. I feel like nursing for that long for each child could be seen as crunchy granola mom conscious choice, but it wasn't. I nursed for as long as I felt I wanted to, and for as long as they wanted to. In fact, some of them would have went longer, and I was like, no, 3 years is quite enough. But that does speak to, I guess, a sliver of my personality, which is like, there is a bit of a crunchy granola mom inside of me. But it's not my whole personality. So I don't read that way to people. But it just feels more like wholesome old fashioned. There's something in me that I categorize as wholesome old fashioned, but certainly not a lot of me. So I think that in that way, that part of my personality came out. Number 6, I have had upward toward 30 Joe jobs in my life. Most of them before the age of 30. So like think high school, college years, all my 20s. I think I'll put a list on the screen here. And I'm missing some. I'm trying to like go back in my memory bank, but I need some help on that. But that just speaks to the part of my personality that is non-committal. Clearly, I'm very committal in relationships and very non-committal in jobs or careers. But my current career is the longest I have lasted because it fulfills me the most. And it's the one that I find endlessly fascinating. Fact number 7. I became obsessed with the Beatles, specifically John Lennon, around the age of 12. I'm not obsessed anymore, but I still obviously love the Beatles. So much respect. Love, love, love. But it does shape my personality in that I love oldies. I love oldie music. 60s and 70s rock. But my other favorite kind of music, I would say, it's very wide ranging. It ranges from T Swift to Queen to Simon and Garfunkel, Elton John, Pink, Alicia Keys. I mean, like it's wide ranging. It's wide ranging. But that was my first band obsession, the Beatles. Number 8, I never considered myself like a girly girl. Like in my, coming of age years, even in my teenage years and even in my 20s. I didn't, even though I wore makeup and I like wore jewelry and that kind of stuff, I was not very, I didn't spend a lot of time on it. And the tides have turned. I feel like I do spend a lot of time, and I'm trying to learn more about all the products and colors and clothing and textures that make me feel good. And like I can't wear things that don't feel good on my body anymore. I used to power through and just wear things, putting random outfits together, and I'm trying to be more intentional and just taking more of an interest in fashion and beauty and makeup, and I'm enjoying it so much. And that's just like a piece of my personality that has morphed and changed over the years, which is the most surprising to me. And I love it. I love it very much. That is it for now. But I will be doing more of these in the future. But I also will be dropping a bunch of hot takes on hot topics, current hot topics, and on relationship advice and things like that in this coming month, in the month of July 2026. So if you want more of this, then stick around.